Warning: motorsport is a dangerous activity. The events you're about to see were filmed in a controlled environment under the supervision of professionals. Do not attempt to recreate or reenact anything you see on this show.
We're here in the winterless north, Northland, New Zealand. We've got 14 competition vehicles ready, equipped and waiting to get into the stages for the 2018 King of the Palace Winch Challenge. I'm your host Caleb Thompson and this is Off-Road Addiction TV. Roughly 2.5 hours north of Auckland is a place called Possum Palace. The property is a working farm made up of 760 acres of bush, open farmland and four-wheel drive tracks. Thanks to Ben and the Blythe family, Possum Palace has been transformed into every four-wheel driver's dream property, with a multitude of tracks ranging from guaranteed first place to why the hell do we keep doing this? This is also where the King of the Palace Winch Challenge is held every Easter weekend. It goes on for 3 days and is filled with plenty of mud flying, wheel lifting, truck braking carnage. The competition started Friday afternoon with 4 stages, followed by 2 night stages. Saturday had 9 stages over the whole day, followed by another 2 night stages. Then Sunday was another half day with the final 5 stages to finish off the event. Winch Challenge is definitely a funny little sport. It seems to go in waves of 3 to 5 years, where all of a sudden all the numbers are up and big and pumping, then all of a sudden all the numbers are down, everyone's trucks are down for maintenance, or they've got growing families or businesses, you name it. So it's good to see people putting their hands up and putting the events on for these guys to come out, get the trucks out, blow the dust off them, and give them a beat down for the weekend. Those who manage to put events like these together definitely help put in the hard yards for months on end. They secure these properties and get them all set up so all us wheelers can have fun off-road and let our competitive juices flow.
Aaron Smythe, drove a 1992 I think, Nissan Patrol, TD42, turbo, intercooled, the rest of it's pretty standard, chrome molly front end, standard brakes, standard arms. Both winches are mounted in the back, 8274 and a battery Nissan winch on the other side. Runs about 80 metres of Amsteel blue rope. Suspension's all EFS, so twin elites in the front, running hydraulic pump stops, and single extremes in the rear, and of course EFS, 4-inch lifted springs, front and rear. It's been around 12 years, been doing winch challenging, sort of from the beginning. I don't know, it's just a fun sport. I've looked at drifting, I've raced rally cars, and this is a heck of a lot cheaper and a heck of a lot more fun. People are just fun, it's a whole lot better.
Friday morning is when all trucks go through scrutineering. This ensures that each truck meets the minimum safety requirements to compete and are running the correct mods for their class. Safety is the #1 priority at competitions like these, so the correct recovery points, recovery gear and safety equipment is a must. All competitors at the event, regardless of class, must wear helmets and a minimum of a 3-point harness, as well as a 6-point roll cage and a maximum tyre size of 36.5 inches at 30 psi. Now to sum up the classes very quickly, Club class is based at more entry-level type vehicles. Challenge class, which wasn't run at this event, is middle of the road. Then we have Modified, which in the North Island is sort of the top class. In the South Island, they run what is called Outlaw class. This event chose to run Club, Modified and Outlaw to bring the rules into line with the South Island to encourage some of the South Island guys to come up and compete in the winterless North.
Hi, I'm Matt. This is my Suzuki Samurai. It's got Hilux stiffs, hydro steer, SR20 det out of an S15, Hilux 4-speed gearbox, chromoly ring and pinions, ARB locker in the front. I'm running a twin motor at the front with free spool, just chromoly cage, 35-inch size and bump stops, that's about it. It's my first winch challenge. I built it because I wanted to go to the beach. I was never going to do this sort of 4x4ing, but it kind of just, I joined a club and then all the guys in my club had cool trucks and started doing more stuff like this. Came to a few of the group events up at Possum Palace. It's been a lot of fun, so this is kind of what got me into this competing. Yeah, it's been a great time.
Off-Road Addiction TV is brought to you by Maxxis New Zealand, Force 4, Polaris New Zealand, and REDARC Electronics. By lunchtime, all the formalities were out of the way for the day and the real fun could begin. There were 4 stages to get through and they were all full of huge mud bogs, deep ruts and steep hill climbs. These hill climbs are mostly rutted out, full of tree roots and had trucks winching at all kinds of angles. The navvies had to think smart and fast when hooking up the winch rope to make sure the truck was getting pulled up the hill in the right direction and not putting too much strain on the rope or the winch. This is one of the reasons it's so important to use safe winching techniques and why competitors get penalised for not doing so. When trucks weighing up to 3 tonnes or more are getting pulled up steep hills or out of bogs, there is a serious amount of load on their recovery gear. So if the winch rope does snap, you want everything to drop straight to the ground. The last thing you want is hooks, shackles or rope flying towards you at 100 miles an hour. This is why you'll always see navvies placing heavy winch dampeners over the winch rope, generally closer to hooks or shackles, so that if there is a failure, everything drops to the ground safely. The bogs are deep, super sloppy and full of water, making it nearly impossible for any truck to get through without getting the winch out, and these guys were not holding back. Everyone was getting coated head to toe on the first day, and there was no telling what was in store for them over the next 2 days.
Hi, I'm Roger. It's my Nissan Safari behind me. Sort of cut down, full bar work, tube back end, coil over rears, running a red winch, hydraulic winch. With the hydro pumps run off the PTO, and it's also got a backup electric winch. Good, solid, reliable truck, nothing spectacular, big and heavy, but lasts the distance most of the time. It has this weekend with a few problems. I do this because I didn't get into this till quite late in life really, and my son was pretty young at the time and he enjoyed it, so we started doing a few club trips, and then because he was young we caged the truck, and then from there things just evolved, and he's older now and he enjoys coming out. We do the comps together with a few arguments. Yeah, some days you feel like, why you do this, but we keep coming back, and I've found a great bunch of people. It's good social life, good people involved in my club, the Shore Four Wheelers, and most of the other clubs. Most of the people you meet are great, so it's a social thing as much as a four-wheel driving thing, so yeah.
The thing about off-roading, it is one big off-road family. Everyone's got a shared passion, everyone loves to jump in and help each other out and make sure that the other competitors can keep running. If they're broken, generally they'll lend their hands to the next team if they need a hand, just to get everyone in the game and to the finish line. It is a fantastic thing to watch. Anywhere we go in the world, this is a universal family. When we're off-road and something goes wrong, everyone generally pitches in. Whether they can speak your language or not, there is always a way to talk trucks if you know part numbers and you know truck models. It is fantastic to be able to break down language barriers like that out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, well, the tracks that we did that went well were a real breeze, but the ones that were kind of technical, you got your truck in the wrong place and you just winched yourself over, or I tried to drive a few too many tracks where I saw the more experienced guys just got out and winch, and I tried to drive. Almost rolled 3 times. I rolled once. So just more experience so that what we need, of what the truck can do and can't do, and what's a smart idea and what's not such a smart idea.
Would you do it again?
Yes, yes I would. Last night I didn't have that opinion though.
If the day stages weren't challenging enough, there were 2 more stages to complete once the sun went down. The night stages were set within close proximity of one another to get everyone through them quickly so people could relax for the rest of the night or stay up and run repairs. That seemed to be the more common occurrence. Good lighting was key to getting through the tracks fast and avoiding any hidden ruts, holes or tree roots. The stages were short loop tracks going into the trees with hill climbs, mud bogs and plenty of winching. Off-Road Addiction TV is brought to you by Factor 55, Motomuck, Big Brown Industries, and Trail Gear. Early Saturday morning was another driver's briefing to let competitors know where the next lot of tracks were located on the property. With 14 trucks and 9 stages to get through, the day was looking to be pretty action-packed. Some of the toughest tracks were saved for the second day of competition. Tracks that required problem-solving skills to get competitors through without ending up on their lid or sinking into bottomless bogs. One of these tracks is called Spring Track and is notorious for being a bottomless pit of slop. Back when the track was first opened, it looked pretty clean and green. But it seemed that the more trucks that went through, the deeper the ruts got, making it near impossible to drive out the other end.
Hey guys, I'm Lee. This is my 40 series, running a Lexus, 70 series diffs, shaved housings, locker in the rear, PDO winch, electric in the rear, 37 treps, internal bead locks, a few other minor mods. This is basically my first major singles winch challenge, so really keen to come back on the next one. I've done 2 other ones, but they were a teams event and kind of a beginners winch challenge. So I love them both, so I thought I'd give the singles a go.
Another gnarly track is Redemption, an uphill loop track with some serious holes to dodge that get most trucks tipping on their sides, or in Matt's case, rolling over completely.
Try drive it. There's a lip at the top at an angle and you just go.
No, it's sort of like a wheelie and then a double roll. It was, yeah, fun.
Yeah. Big slop of mud came all the way down here in the soft top.
We got told you hydraulic. What happened?
Yeah, we hydraulics it, so we took all of our...
It's about a litre of oil.
Yeah, litre of
it's
oil
off the edge.
all over everything. We just spat it out, put the plugs back in. It's back alive.
Suzuki's need it so they don't rust.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It was cleaning.
Oh well, you're out.
This is a track that requires a lot of forward thinking and problem solving to figure out where the truck is going to drop and how to keep it on at least 2 wheels. A lot of technical winching was done in this track, with Navi setting up multiple winches and pulley blocks to slowly coax the truck through the deep washouts, around the corner and up the steep hill. Unless you're Nigel Reed, who just accepted the truck was on its side and continued to winch up the hill. Now that's when you know you've got a good winch, when you can winch a truck up a steep hill on its side and still maintain a good pace. And it could be the fact that he was in a Suzuki Samurai. Competitors were powering through the stages, but most were running into mechanical issues along the way. So there was plenty of repair work going on trackside and spare parts being transported all over. It was proving to be a fun but tiring day, and it was far from over. So make sure you stay tuned for the second half of the Novawinch King of the Palace Winch Challenge coming soon. There's still plenty more mud flying action to come from this off-road paradise. Coming up on the next episode, we see plenty more carnage from the rest of the Novawinch King of the Palace Winch Challenge. We have the remaining stages from Saturday, more night stages, and even more stages on Sunday. Don't miss out on seeing even more action from Possum Palace.
Yeah, hi, my name's Ben Blythe, lead organiser of the Battle of the Palace. No, that's wrong.
We're not at that one yet. That's
No, that's the next one.
We're here in the absolutely stunning sunny Northland for the 2018
A few other minor mods.
Rangy mods.
Yeah, rangy mods.
Yep, big thanks to Ben and the Blythe family.
Hey, shut up!
Okay. Quiet!
Good to go.